Most teams are paying $500 a month for AI agents when the exact same job gets done free. And I'm not talking about crippled free versions or some sketchy open source thing that breaks every other week. I mean legitimately the same capabilities, zero cost, just nobody's marketing it to you because there's no money in it. So today I'm breaking down where the money actually goes, why companies keep paying it anyway, and exactly which free alternatives actually work versus which ones are just tech theater. Let's start with what we're even talking about here. An AI agent isn't just a chatbot. It's a piece of software that can take actions on your behalf. It can read your emails, write code, manage your calendar, pull data from databases, make API calls, run automations. It's like hiring a really fast intern who never sleeps and costs almost nothing to run. Except when you go through a commercial platform. Here's the money breakdown. OpenAI's enterprise agents, Claude's API with extended thinking, and purpose-built agent platforms like Zapier's AI or Crew AI on the commercial side all charge based on usage or monthly seats. A typical setup for a small team runs you anywhere from $200 to $800 a month, depending on how much the agent is actually doing. And that's before you factor in the markup from middlemen platforms that wrap these APIs and sell them back to you with a dashboard. Why so much? Part of it's real cost. API calls aren't free. If your agent is making 1,000 API requests a day, that adds up. OpenAI charges around 3 cents per 1,000 tokens for GPT, for Mini, and up to 15 cents per 1,000 for the full model. Claude's similar. Multiply that by thousands of requests, and you're looking at real money. But here's the thing, and this is where people get mad when they realize it. You're also paying for convenience, brand trust, and the illusion that someone else is responsible if something breaks. You're paying for a company to promise you reliability and support. You're paying for their dashboard. You're paying for the fact that they've already integrated with Slack or Salesforce or whatever you use. That's not free, but it's also not inherent to the technology. Now let's talk about what actually works for free. And I mean legitimately works, not some technically free, but you need a computer science degree situation. First option, build it yourself with open source. Llama 2 or Mistral are free models you can run locally or on cheap cloud servers. Libraries like LangChain and Crew AI let you wire agents together without paying for proprietary platforms. If you've got someone on your team who can code, this is genuinely free. Hosting costs you maybe $20 to $50 a month on something like Modal or Hugging Face. The catch? You're maintaining it. If something breaks at 2 a.m., you're the one fixing it. No support line. No guarantee it works tomorrow. Second option, use free API tiers strategically. OpenAI gives you $5 in free credits. Claude gives you free API access up to a certain amount. Anthropic's free tier lets you experiment. Google's Gemini API has a free tier. If your agent isn't running thousands of requests a day, you can genuinely stay under the free limit indefinitely. Most people don't realize this because the free tier isn't advertised. It's buried on the pricing page. Third option, hybrid. Run your agent on a free or cheap open source model for routine work, and use paid API calls only when you actually need the heavy-duty reasoning. So your agent does 80% of the work with Mistral running on a cheap server, and when it hits something complex, it escalates to Claude for 10 seconds. You're still paying, but you're paying for maybe 5% of the work instead of 100%. Fourth option, use platforms that are genuinely free. Make.com has an extremely generous free tier for building automations. Zapier's free plan lets you do basic AI agent stuff. These platforms' whole business model is getting you addicted and then charging you later, but if you stay disciplined, you can actually accomplish things in the free tier. It's clunky compared to paying, but it works. Here's the honest part though. Free doesn't always mean better. And sometimes paying $500 a month actually saves you money. If your agent needs to run reliably, you're going to spend time babysitting an open source version. That time costs something. If your agent needs to integrate with 10 different business tools, a platform that's already built those integrations saves you weeks of engineering work. If you need someone to call at 3 in the morning because your agent broke and it's costing you money, paid support has real value. Where most teams go wrong is they don't actually calculate their break-even point. They just assume that free is free and paid is waste. But if you've got one engineer spending 4 hours a week maintaining a self-hosted agent, you're spending roughly $200 a week in salary on free software. Paying $500 a month for a managed platform that works out of the box suddenly looks pretty smart. So here's the framework I'd use. If you're a solo person or tiny startup and you've got technical chops, go open source. You'll learn more and you'll save the money. If you're a small team and you have one person who can code, hybrid approach. If you're a team without engineers, or you need this to work reliably with zero maintenance, pay for a platform. Don't cheap out and then spend 3 months debugging something that costs $500 to avoid. The real thing nobody talks about is that the free alternatives are catching up fast. Mistral and Llama get better every month. Open source agent frameworks are getting easier to use. In 2 years, the gap between free and paid might be basically gone. Right now, you've still got to pick your trade-off. But at least now you know it's a real choice, not just a scam where you're getting ripped off. If you want to actually understand which tools are worth paying for and which ones are just marketing, subscribe. I break down one of these comparisons every few days, and I don't take sponsorships from the companies I'm evaluating. So you're getting the actual truth, not the sales pitch.